Right, we're in the workshop again, thankfully. Back in the workshop. And we're going to be making doors. Now, you've seen me many times make doors out of the old floorboards. However, we need another door in the bathroom, for the bathroom, because, you know, convention needs a door in the bathroom. You've seen me make doors, as I said before, loads of times before. However, I've got a little idea about making a different door. I want to try it, see if it works. Still out of the floorboards, but we're going to do it in a different way. So what I want to do is make a different style of door than we've had before. I want to make a 4-panel door. So this will have rails and stiles and panels inset in the door. Now, normally you'd make that out of solid wood, but because I don't have solid wood and it's very expensive to buy that kind of thing, I'm going to make it out of the old floorboards, like I said. But what I've got to do first of all is I've got to glue up 2 boards together so I've got a nice thick piece of wood for my door. That'll be 42mm thick, nice and thick. May plane it down a little bit, but that's what I want to do. And then, so what I've done is I've made up my rails, so my long pieces that way. Going to make up my little bits now. So it's just a case of gluing these up. And I leave them for the whole day. I don't want to touch them. I'll just glue them up, leave them for the whole day, come back the next day and we'll start our job. So, all these 2 panels glued up, all clamped up. Gonna leave this for tomorrow. Back time to get a cup of tea and we'll come back then. So these are all glued up, all these boards are all glued up, ready to go. Now what we've got to do is cut them down to rough dimensions so we've got everything ready to go. messy old job this woodworking, isn't it? Right, so we planed everything down. Got some bad sniping there, but we can live with that. So we got some flat boards for our panels. Look at that, terrible. We can live with that now. Next thing to do is to start building up the routing. Got lots of marking to do, lots of setting up until we can get our routed channels and our mortises ready to accept the tenons on the main door. But I've got a bit of clearing up to do first.
How you getting on, baby?
Yeah, I'm doing alright, I'm doing alright.
Yeah?
Yeah, it's all dimensioned up, so it's all now at the dimensions I want. And that's going to be, it'll be 1, 2, 3, 4 panel door.
It's a very elaborate door for the bathroom, isn't it?
You could say that, and quite frankly, it's something that you'd probably buy. You know, if you was in England, a 4 panel door is a regular thing to buy, and they are. This is the thing, they are not a lot of money in England, and people are looking at me going, "That's a lot of work for something I can buy for 60 quid." You know, £60, and that's it. This doesn't cost me £60 because this wood is that I've had anyway. But I just really, you've seen me make.
But they're not 60 quid in France, are
Oh no! When it's 60 quid, so a door like this, you wouldn't get a door like this because you wouldn't get a 4 panel door in France. I've never seen one. So that's, you see, if there would have been 4 panel doors, we'd probably bought quite a lot of the doors previously. But because there wasn't anything that we liked, and they tend to do these 3 panel doors, which I'm not a great lover of, and I don't think you are either.
Yeah.
And they are minimum of, well, you can buy the cheap ones, but they are
So cheap.
really, really horrible, really hardboard, you know, egg box cores and all that sort of thing, and they for fine, but they're just not going to work in this place. So the minimum we'd spend is a couple of €100
On a door.
on a door, but the reason for doing this, as you say, and it's a bit fancy for a bathroom door, is I've made all the doors, the Z brace doors. I've even started doing routing channels in them to, you know, for the moulding that they do on the doors, because I think that looks really nice, very traditional thing that they do in France, which I will do for all my exterior doors now. I make them like that. But for an internal door, I've never done anything like this before, and I just wanted to, I don't know, kind of up my skill set.
Cool. Okay, so we'll leave you to do your routing, and then we'll come back and see.
It's a lot of measuring and routing, yeah. Normally with this sort of joint, you'd have a mortise, which is the hole, and a tenon, which is the bit that goes in the hole. But unfortunately I can't do that on these pieces because I've sandwiched a couple of floorboards together and they have these grooves in it. If I cut a tenon out of that, I cut a piece here, cut a piece round there, and so you have a bit sticking out, if you like. It will be so weak because of these holes. So what I'm doing is I'm routing a mortise hole in every single piece, and then I will make my tenons to fit in this hole, and then to fit in the other side, and then loads of glue all over the top, and hopefully we'll clamp it all together and it'll work like that.
So a bit like a biscuit joint.
It's exactly like a biscuit joint, only bigger and stronger. It's exactly like a dowel joint. It's all it is a big dowel. Yeah, it's just a big dowel, and normally you would cut it out of the solid wood, but I'm making my own tenons to go and fit into all my mortises that I'm routing at the moment. And it is a fairly laborious, but it's also really, really good practice, because I've not used this quite much at all, and it's really, really good practice in setting all that up. So, you know, I'm quite enjoying myself. Right, all my rails and stiles are all routed out, ready to accept the panels, ready to accept the biscuits. The tenons that I'm going to make up, that's the last job I shall do. But at the moment we are making the panels. I was going to leave these plain and just route out a channel that would accept into the rails and the stiles, but I decided to do a raised panel. Now, to do that with what I've got is quite a laborious and quite a long-winded job, because what I have done started off by literally running the long sides in the table saw and cutting a groove out of there. And if you see that groove there, that I've just like, what it's called, a rabbet, a rebate, whatever you want to call it. But what we've got to do now is we've got to do the short side. Now, to do the short side on the table saw, I've utilised something I made ages and ages ago for this table saw, which is called what they call a cross-cut sled. The cross-cut sled enables you to cut across effectively more accurately and safely on the short side of a board like this. Now, I wouldn't say this is the most accurate in the world. Something that I banged up so I could do specific jobs like this safely. So what we do is that we place the board, we do a little stop block on there so we know exactly how far we want, same distance as I've done my long rail, and we place that in there, and then we run that over the blade like that. And this is, as you see, the blade is completely encased in the board. I put a block on the back here as well, so you don't see, so your hands are away from the actual blade itself. And I've raised my blade up just the distance I need here, just about 8mm it is, and then it will finally turn out. We'll run those over and you'll see the raised panel. Right, there we go. We'll run that over, and so we've got our effectively raised panel. I don't know if you can see that. There we go, a raised panel. And a bit of cleaning up. Do the other side, clean it up, round over these little edges, makes a nice decorative panel. So we've got 4 more in there to do, and then we can put the door together. Wow, I'm really pleased. Considering, yeah, I'm really pleased with it. You know, I'm really pleased with it. We're gonna glue it up. You know, it's all. I've got to dry fit it anyway. But not bad for first attempt, eh?
Bloody brilliant. So you should be.
I'm well pleased with that. Considering, yeah, that's a little upskilling. That's a little upskilling on my part, I think. Yeah. Obviously, I've got to take it apart. I've got to take it apart again, which is a shame, really, because yeah. But I've got to take it apart, and I've got to glue it all up and then clamp it up. But there you go, one 4-panel door.
Well done,
very
baby.
Traditional, Victorian, I think, Victorian style dress. And so we put it into a 14th century French house. As my dear beloved Dave would say, my house do I want. I'm amazed. Quite frankly, I'm amazed. You know, considering that is all made out of floorboards.
Yeah.
That's made out of floorboards. So there you go, one 4-panel door. If you want to see it being installed, pop over to our Chateau channel. That'll give you all the gen on installing something like this. I hope you've enjoyed the video. I've enjoyed making it, I know that. Like, subscribe, do all that good stuff for us. Thanks ever so much for watching, and we'll see you again at the workshop of the old Relais.